We have always known that voluntary euthanasia has overwhelming support in the community, but it hasn't had overwhelming support in the Parliament. What we're doing now is we are introducing on a cross-party, if you like, or even a multi-party basis, a new bill into both the lower house, and that will be introduced tomorrow, and in the upper house, which will be introduced in a fortnight, bills to provide for dying with dignity, for people to have some choice over their final days. The bill that the Greens put forward last year has been modified, and what excites me is that we are in fact going to be introducing identical bills in the lower house with Steph's bill and in the upper house. The fundamentals of the bill, this bill, with what I introduced last year, are the same. It is an amendment to the Consent to Medical Treatment and Palliative Care Act. So in other words, it puts these end-of-life choices in the context of people's ability to control their lives, their medical treatment and decisions about the end of life. Actually, one reason that is often given as to why people don't support it is religious. Now, that flies in the face, I think, of the facts, and that is that when they survey people on this topic, as they have done for 30 or more years, they've asked about religious affiliations, and what those results have found is that the majority of practising Christians, for example, support voluntary euthanasia. We're finding people of Christian faith coming out saying their God of compassion doesn't want people to suffer the way people have, and they want them to have a choice about the end of their life. The question for members of Parliament is, do they reflect the views of their constituents? We know over 80% of South Australians support voluntary euthanasia with appropriate safeguards. That's the bill that Steph Key and I are putting before the Parliament. So I'm excited. We have always known that this is an idea whose time has well and truly come. It was narrowly defeated in the upper house last year. I think we have excellent prospects of getting it through this year, but the bills are now in the hands of elected representatives. I know that voluntary euthanasia will become law in South Australia. I'm hoping it'll be this time with this bill, but if for some reason it's not successful, then whether it's Steph, me, Duncan, Jeff or anyone else, it will be back, because you cannot ignore what 80% of the people of South Australia say they want.